Hello and welcome to Clash of the Reds pods. And following the highs of winning the Premier League last week to the lows of wondering when and where that ball will land, it's been an emotional week for the Arsenal fans and their contingent. I'll be your host tonight, and joining me, we have to dissect the final. We have our Arsenal mascots in Danyaal, and friend of the pod, Sparx, is joining us today as well. How's everything going? How are you guys feeling after the last few days?
I quit after that comment. You can sod off. It's been an emotional roller coaster. Obviously, I went to Budapest as well, and I got in about more or less midnight when I actually got home yesterday. So still a little bit tired, still a little bit spaced, and whatever. But as you say, a bit of an emotional roller coaster. Kind of topped it off when I heard about Kevin Keegan having stage 4 cancer, to be honest. So shout out to him, his family, his friends, whatever. That hit me hard. That obviously generational legend of a sport. Nobody's immune, are they? So it's like it's hard, man. But anyway, so I kind of went out with the mindset of we've won the Premier League anyway. It's a free hit. I think with most Arsenal fans that actually went with the game, it was kind of developed into we're going to do it, and then kind of we kind of convinced ourselves we're going to do it, and then we almost did it, and then we didn't do it. And so it was, like I say, topsy-turvy, bit of, just highs and lows. I'm still trying to recover from it now, to be honest. But we had a great time out there, and, always nice to do a European away. It's the first Champions League final I've done as well. So a good experience for that. I'm not sure Budapest should be the place to host another major footballing event from that point of view, given that they opened a disused terminal and plenty of people just sat on the floor, kind of just vegging out. We got emails to say that you have to be there 3 hours before, and then when we got there from Budapest, they didn't start taking anybody's names through the check-in until 2 hours before. So it's like, well, make your mind up, Don't send me an email if you're going to change the thing. But, the beauty of airlines, you got no control over it. You just literally just got to go with it. So, As for football, we almost got there. Last hurdle kind of failed there. So, I'm sure everybody else is really happy about that, but as you can probably imagine, not really.
And speaking of which, so today, giving us a fair and unbiased counterpoint, as well as a little bit of honest talk later, we have the Cockney Scouts of Zahid and Tamim. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, all good. All good, Omar. All good. Dying off hay fever, but apart from that, all good.
Yeah, doing very well. I mean, it was a very eventful Saturday as a neutral and also as a local fan. But I'm sure we'll get into that as that goes on.
And then here to rub a bit of salt laced with a lot of chili is Uzi. How are you doing?
Really well, actually. Had an amazing weekend. I can't remember what happened, but one of the best weekends I've ever had in my life. Yeah, pretty fun. Enjoyed it. Yeah. Good to see you, Sparx. Nice to see you help your younger bro Danyaal here for the violations that are going to be coming continuously now, forever.
I got a question for you.
Go for it.
So you say it's the best weekend of your life. Didn't you win a treble?
Generational hate watch. Well,
No. But so you're basically saying that you hate Arsenal more than you love your own team, is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. By the way, I can't hear you fully with all the European trophies we won, but
They mean nothing. You're not even celebrating them anymore. They mean nothing.
we don't need to. We've completed football.
Because Bruno broke the assist record. That's why they've completed football.
There've been 3 finals for Arsenal, Europeans, 3 drubbings.
Drubbing.
Yeah.
Drubbings.
It's hardly a drubbing.
We lost on penalties, mate.
We lost on penalties, but 25% possession. Leave it out.
It was 25%, but yeah. Well, hang on a minute.
You failed 3 finals, man. What are you on about? Come on.
They had a back line, a back four that just tapped the ball to each other.
The world's smallest violin.
Well, we'll go into that.
Yeah, we'll go into that indeed.
So
I mean, I don't mind digs and whatever, but just pure lies is just, I that's where I draw the line,
So Sparx, you were at the game. Danyaal, you were at the Emirates. What was your experience of that?
It was a super hot, muggy night. But yeah, the vibes were good before the game. And the vibes were actually somewhat good after the game as well. There are some fans who are trying to G everyone up, considering the fact that, we are Premier League champions. Like Sparx, it was just the screens at the Emirates weren't as big as I think people thought they were going to be. So they had 3 massive screens on the pitch, and they blocked off the other end. So it was quite difficult to actually get into the stadium because they were preparing for the parade. So certain entrances were closed off. So there was a bit of a kind of bottleneck of where we had to go to. But yeah, man, the first 10 minutes when Havertz scored, after the first 45 minutes, we're definitely dreaming of taking it home. But yeah, it wasn't to be. And I think the defining image of Arsenal season is the 1.5 million Arsenal fans out on the streets yesterday, celebrating the team and their first Premier League title in 22 years. That for me will be the defining image of the season.
Yeah, for me, it's lifting up the Premier League trophy, But I couldn't give a crap about the parade, to be honest. I kind of wanted to go, but then I was like, I'm kind of glad I didn't go, to be honest, because it was like just a bit of a mosh of people. Apparently there were Chelsea fans there, United fans there, Spurs fans there. Not sure why. It doesn't really.
I heard Dawg was there trying to find a wife or a husband or something like that. So.
Danyaal, do you want to explain to the viewers why you were late? Apparently it's because you were gooning or something like that.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
Like and subscribe, by the way. Otherwise, you might get kicked out the stream. Omar, you're on mute, bro.
So he had a dream start. First 10 minutes, went 1-0 up. Seemed to be going okay, and then sat back a bit deeper there. First half you seem to go in a little bit more defensive. And as mentioned earlier, the stats do favour PSG, but I don't think it paints 2 different pictures there. Because defensively in the first half, you guys were very solid. But then there was a bit more of a switch up in the second half where you went out a little bit more and that gave PSG a bit more space. So do you think Arteta handled that the right way? Do you think he should have continued his defensive positioning from the first half, or was he right to do what he did?
Do you think you were buggered that you scored too early and then you had to defend that lead? It's a bit like when England played Italy in the Euros? When they scored very early. I don't know, it's like when you score very early on, you then end up defending your lead and then worrying about being able to defend that lead. And as the clock ticks down, you're in that defensive position for the rest of the game, right?
I thought they were pretty solid, to be honest.
Great finish by Havertz.
I thought they were really solid, to be honest. And I thought Havertz is probably the only guy I trust to make that finish. With the season he's had and others have had. I don't think we scored too early at all. I just think he shut up shop and he just didn't want. He just didn't want the wingers running free. They've got the best attack in the world, and for the most, they didn't even score from the open play. They scored from a penalty. So, it took a set piece, and a bit disappointed from Mosquera's point of view that he made that challenge, because I don't really think he needed to. So I think it was a bit naive from his part of things, but yeah, I mean, from the evidence of a season as a whole, he hedged his bets, and that he thought that was the best chance of us getting our hands on the trophy, and it almost worked. Just almost.
I think for me, you have to remember this is like the best footballing side in Europe. The amount of goals they scored against Chelsea was 8-2 over 2 legs over aggregate. It was 5-4 against Bayern Munich. Like this is a serious footballing side, and to kind of restrict them to kind of half chances for the majority of the game. I know they had a couple of counters at the end of the game with Barcola, but yeah, like we kind of controlled it in a very, very typical Arsenal way, by sitting deep and making sure that we weren't getting hammered at all. So I think that for me is kind of how Arteta kind of saw it. I think when the lineup came out, I wanted Calafiori to start, just thinking about how we could kind of escape PSG's press. But Nketiah did fantastically well, in all fairness. And the fact that by the end, I think he was probably playing with a bit of an injury because we'd made all 5 subs. I think an absolute worry out there. So, yeah. What I think changed for me was what's the referee's approach to how he managed the game, which was a bit weird. Like the end of the half, we had a corner and he just blew up for half time. And I was thinking, like, at least let us take the corner kick, for God's sake. Like, it was a bit strange. And there has been a bit of discourse online saying, like, forget the contentious penalty decisions aside, but even like just general 50-50s just seem to be going PSG's way. One thing comes to mind where Timber was kind of free and he was just stronger than the PSG player. And he immediately blew up for a foul. I was just thinking, like, what
held his face, fell onto the floor, didn't he?
Yeah. And that kind of disrupted our flow a little bit as we were trying to kind of counter on them. Yeah.
I've seen highlights and slow-mos of Arsenal players going down easily and slowing down the play and stopping. I mean, you said contentious penalty decisions aside. I mean, you just wiping out the Saka handball in the box, like, completely from this discussion about the referee's decision making.
He rebounded off another part of his body, didn't it?
Yeah, it went off his chest.
Didn't it come off?
It went off his chest and onto his arm, and then
I know.
That's not a penalty.
The consistency of what they did in the semi-final.
It's the rules.
So where was that decision making in the semi-finals?
So what you're saying is, because we conceded one penalty, we should concede another no matter what? Because
I'm saying that you can't just disregard it completely as a potential opportunity that PSG could have had to have gotten a penalty that went in your favor, that could have gone the other direction.
But okay, so they came out and said that the penalty was given that was given against Ben White for the handball was incorrectly given.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm saying that the
decision so they're just supposed to do the same thing again and just say it's wrong again. I don't understand.
I'm saying that it could have gone either way, but what I'm saying is that
it's the rules. If they followed the rules on this one, they admitted that they got it wrong on the last one.
Okay, so did it come off his chest first onto his arm?
Yeah,
it did.
Okay. But I mean, I'm saying another ref on another day would have given that as a penalty, and VAR may not have intervened.
But then they didn't follow the rules, did they?
Yeah, that's fine, but I'm saying that it doesn't matter whether they follow the rules or not. I'm saying that decision.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? So the rules don't matter now. The rule books doesn't matter now.
Of course they matter, but we know from a Premier League season that the FA
It's not
doesn't
Premier
follow the
League.
rules consistently throughout the season.
Okay.
Even though there is a rule book, they don't follow that rule book consistently throughout the season. They set out shot.
So that's okay, is what you're saying. So now you want a penalty because you want them not to go against the rule book. I'm very confused.
Okay. I'm saying this is what happens, and this is what can happen.
Okay.
Do you think it should have been a penalty, Zahid? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying it should have been a penalty, but I'm saying that it could have been a penalty.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. I'm saying you can't completely disregard that from your discussion about the ref's performance, and then talk about other things about 50-50s.
I didn't say contentious penalties in just like I was also referring to the Saka penalty as well, so as well as the Noni one. So I was saying that aside, talking about the flow of the game and how it flowed. Yeah, maybe the referee was getting wound up by Arsenal's tactics.
I mean, so the discourse online was that the ref told was it Saka who went to take the corner at the end of the first half.
Mm.
Yeah, so apparently I didn't see it, but apparently the ref told him to go and take the corner, and he took his time, so the ref blew for half time.
Okay.
So the referee had warned him not to waste time before taking the corner.
He also booked Mosquera. He booked Mosquera for the throw-in after 7 seconds. So I don't really understand what that is. And I did see PSG players kicking the ball away, and they get nothing for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
right at the beginning of the game. Yeah.
I don't understand.
Get away with that for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, we were beaten. I can see Dawg just laughing at us, whatever. You know, I'm not blaming the referee. I'm basically saying that there are circumstances as well. We weren't good enough. We were the second best side. We lost the game. Simple as that. You know, we scored one more penalty. We potentially win the game. So you know, that's what happens. I'm not making an excuse. I'm basically saying, you know, just because that happened, I'm not saying that's the reason we lost. We lost because the game we weren't good enough.
I think no one has figured out how to beat PSG, and probably Arsenal have come the closest to figuring out how to beat PSG, but they just didn't get over the line. And I don't know what the way is to stop PSG and this Luis Enrique team, but I guess the best attacking team came up against the best defensively organized team in the competition. And it just so happened that when it came down to it, and the crunch moment in terms of the penalty kicks, PSG were more decisive than Arsenal.
No, set piece kings then, aren't they? That's what we get labelled with, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they didn't come off for you in the final, the set piece.
What did you guys...
No, they're set piece kings is what I'm saying. So we can't be labelled as set piece kings anymore. The PSG are set piece kings because they scored all their penalties, yeah?
Well, no, there was this penalty saved by Raya,
Yeah.
right? It was a poor penalty from, was it Mendes, I think?
Yeah,
Nuno Mendes.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was, to be honest.
Yeah, Nuno Mendes. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you? Since we're on contentious penalties, what did you guys think of the non-penalty?
I don't think it was a penalty. I think
Why?
Madueke's arm was around. I don't know who the defender was, but it was it looked a bit too iffy for me. And if there was a foul, it looked like the foul started before they entered the box. So, you know, if there was a foul given, it could be a free kick potentially, but it didn't look like a penalty to me.
So, for me, so I've heard the thing about Noni hooks his arm. That's irrelevant for me. The fact that Nuno Mendes falls on him, basically body slams his back. That for me is the foul. And 9 times out of 10, it's given.
But don't you think the fall was impacted by the arm around him, though? Because it's not just literally just falling on top of him. Like there was literally a shoulder to shoulder kind of.
For me,
does the ball not matter anymore?
Because what?
Does the ball matter anymore? Because we've been told all season you need to get a touch on the ball, and if you get a touch on the ball, it's not a penalty. And you get a rebound, and no, he got a touch on the ball, so it's not a penalty. And there've been no returns because somebody got a touch on the ball, and one player was near the ball, and the other one was nowhere near the ball, and went through a man to try and get the ball. So does that not count for anything?
I think Madueke was falling already. I think he'd started falling, like his trailing leg. If you watch the slow-mo back of the incident, he was already initiating. I mean, obviously he's the attacker. He's going to try and draw the penalty if he can. But I think it wasn't clear-cut enough for me to say that that's definitely a penalty.
No,
it could have gone either way.
The same argument you used for Saka's, it was a 50-50. If it's given, VAR doesn't overturn it. Like that also refers like
I'm being consistent in what I'm saying. It could have gone either way.
When you watch the highlights from BBC, when they analyze it, the initial contact from Mendes on Madueke is outside the box in terms of when he clips his foot. So if it were to go to VAR, the most they would probably have to give is a free kick outside the box, because it's always the initial contact is what's labelled as the initial foul.
That's not true. You remember the Cunha penalty that you got against Crystal Palace where the guy got sent off?
Yes.
That also started outside the box, and it continued in the box. And he got a penalty, and it was a red card.
Yeah.
So that's not true. That is not in the rules.
But earlier you said that Premier League and Champions League are different.
They work to the same rule book, right? It's only the handball rule that's different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it only the handball rule that's inconsistent?
Yeah, they interpret handball differently in Europe compared to the Premier League.
They basically any touch is a handball, unless it rebounds off another body part. I thought it was only that was different.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't. Again, I'm not complaining about the decision. I just didn't think we were good enough on the day.
I wouldn't say
obviously we're Arsenal fans. We're going to say that we're going to have some slight bias because that's fans. If it's Liverpool involved, you're going to have some slight bias. If it's Man United involved, you're going to have some slight bias. It just that's the way fans work.
I don't know. I don't think that's necessarily true. I might chime in here. Danyaal mentioned the word flow. The only thing that's been flowing from Arsenal fans for the past few days has been bullshit. If you watch that match back as a neutral, you'll realise that Arsenal were wasting a lot of time. They dropped anchor after taking lead within the first 10 minutes. Any other team would have said, let's go for a second goal. But in typical Arteta haram ball style, he said, let's just try and hold on. You look at that Madueke challenge, it wasn't even a foul. I don't even know why Rice and Arteta started chirping up. Basic physics, and I don't even have an A-level in physics, will tell you that momentum, if you're wrapping your arm around someone, will bring him forward, and that person will naturally fall down. So all these excuses are irrelevant. As you said, Sparx, and I'm glad you said that, Arsenal just weren't good enough. 25% possession and all that jazz. They just weren't good enough on the day. I don't want to hear any of this bullshit about refereeing and that. The reason why Arsenal fans are complaining about the refereeing is because they've gotten away with similar decisions in their favour throughout the entirety of the Premier League. That's why the Premier League are making changes to the rules. Danyaal put an article. It is true.
Yeah, only Arsenal got away with anything. God, what such a bullshit narrative, man.
Just acknowledge the fact that
so bullshit, man.
I know it's hurting you guys a lot that you do not have a European.
It's just a bullshit narrative. That's all it is.
Premier League champions, Premier League champions, Premier League champions.
It's a bullshit narrative. That's all it is.
You guys were humbled. You were not good enough.
That's a good point. Oh no, we weren't humbled. Come
on,
get off it, man.
You were not good enough.
No,
you were humbled.
That's
if
a good
you were
point.
Good enough, you would have won.
Arsenal Premier League champions.
25% possession. 20. That's the second lowest. I think it's second lowest after Chelsea or the lowest. That's embarrassing. You can't. You're not even in contention for the European champions. Allow it.
They didn't
just take it on the chin that you guys were humbled. What
do you mean not in contention? What do you mean not in contention?
All these excuses you guys are making. Oh, what about this? Wasting time. You know what? I'm so glad that referee blew the whistle at the half time because you guys are wasting time. I was watching that match and seeing all these little tactics. You got really built, stocky players, and they're falling down like the Twin Towers. How?
Yeah, no, but no other player in the league, no other player in Europe goes over. Yeah. Just Arsenal players, yeah.
You guys, because it would have
What a
been the
load of
football.
shit, man.
Football
Never
is a
heard so
beautiful
much
game,
shit
and
in
you
my
guys
life.
violated it on Saturday. I do not care. Had Arsenal, had you
It
guys
finished
scored a couple more
1-1
goals during
in
90
full
minutes,
time.
I would have been like, you know what, fair
It's not
play.
a violation,
You guys
man.
deliberately dragged it out because you knew, okay, we're too afraid to attack. So it's all BS. Okay.
And all year we get slated for open play goals and this, that, and the other. And we were the only one to score one, and you don't label that PSG.
Yeah.
All year you've done that.
About, honestly.
No, you don't know what I'm talking about. Of course you do.
Someone's taking it to heart.
Danyaal, you're saying PSG didn't threaten you. I thought they had a few chances.
No. I think Barca could have had a couple of scary moments.
Vitinha put one over the bar just before. Yeah.
No, but I mean, they weren't clear-cut chances. Like they weren't like they were through on goal and hammering Ryan's goal. Like that's what I mean by it. Like we were, and again, it was us getting caught in the counter attack there. So it's this other narrative that we just sat back for 90 minutes, 120 minutes. It's also
you guys did sit back.
We had our moments.
Until when PSG scored. When PSG scored, I know every single Arsenal fan shat themselves because suddenly PSG came out of their shell. You guys were actually doing really well.
They're the best team in the world. Why wouldn't you?
What?
They're the best team in the world. Why wouldn't you?
Well, if you guys want to call yourselves the best team in the world,
we don't call ourselves the best team in the world because PSG, and I'm an Arsenal fan, just said that PSG are the best team in the world, right?
Okay, but this is my point, though. It's these moments where Arsenal stand up and say, right, we want to be seen as the best team in the world. So instead of going into your shell, you come out and attack. It may go in your favor, or it may go against. Look back to the Liverpool final against Real Madrid in 2017-18, yeah? It was 1-1. If it wasn't for those colossal mistakes, they could have potentially won it. But they came out attacking. They knew they couldn't go into their shell because Real Madrid would come after them and it will work out worse. Arsenal didn't have that mindset. Arsenal wanted to take this terrorist football approach. It's true. It's true.
And how many of our attackers do you put in PSG side?
5% possession.
How many attackers?
You guys had one shot on target. Explain.
How many of our attackers do you put in a combined 11 compared with PSG's attack?
That's such an irrelevant argument.
It's not irrelevant at all.
Any of that nonsense. You're in the Champions League final because you supposed to be playing good football. Now is the time to show to the world that, hey, we're worthy of being champions. You know I'm speaking facts, but you just can't take it.
No, I'm not, I don't know. I don't think you're speaking. You just literally, I've made a point to you. You just threw it back and just go, I'm not hearing it. So, and then you say, I know I'm talking facts.
You're answering a question with an irrelevant question. It's pointless. Just acknowledge the fact.
It's not pointless. The manager played to his strengths. It's not a pointless comparison.
What's your strengths? Sitting back. Is that
defense?
This terrorist football.
Yeah.
You know what? Everyone in the world was happy Arsenal lost because the football that they were playing was ugly. It was ugly football. It was ugly football. You couldn't
we aren't
here
to entertain
that. You guys,
it
would have been a horrible stain on Champions League football history.
And if it was your team doing it, you'd do exactly the same thing. You wouldn't care.
What are you talking rubbish for? When United got battered by Barcelona in 2008, 2009, did I sit here and make excuses when I was talking to people? No, I said we were outclassed. 2010-11, when they got humbled 3-1, did I say?
And what did I say?
I said, actually, they deserve to win. But you guys, for some reason, everyone's against you. Even if you guys lost 8-2, you'll be like, we deserve to win. Allow it, man.
But
I haven't said that. So you're just making shit up.
I'm not making shit up.
You are. We literally just sat here and I said they were the better team.
It's so, like and subscribe, by the way. It's so emotionally draining. It's so tiring. And it's just like excuses.
What's draining is making up fucking lies.
Oh, he's swearing now. It's excuses after excuses. Spare me the rubbish.
I didn't make an excuse. I literally said they were the better team.
Yeah, this was the moment for Arsenal to stand up and you guys capitulated. Let's just call it what it is.
No, we didn't capitulate. No, but again, that's not what happened. This wasn't PSG.
One goal is all what it took from
PSG to make
your whole team fall apart. Come on. PSG, I don't know how.
But they didn't fall apart though. They did not fall apart.
Right. I'm out of here. I'm not dealing with lies, man.
You were saying? Gone? I can see where they go from, Danyaal.
So a little bit of a bombshell moment there. I think we should maybe take things down a notch and have a little discussion about the penalty shootout. So Danyaal, I'll go to you first. Actually, no, I'll go to Zahid and Tamim because I think Danyaal might need a moment to calm down as well. So the Eze and Gabriel penalty, what are your thoughts on them? In my opinion, I find this very irritating when footballers do the little hop, skip, and jump thing when they're running up to take a penalty, especially when it's in the crunch moments. You saw Rashford doing it in the Euros final. Eze has history of doing it. He's done it a couple of times for Crystal Palace, where he's done the exact same thing and just done a really soft, weak shot. What are your thoughts on, should he be trying it? Should he not be? Should he just be doing what Declan Rice did and just powering it in?
Yeah, I think whenever I've seen that stutter run up, I've seen players miss it. I can't remember. I think Bruno does it, but at least he scores his penalties. But
even then, he's had a few where he's missed as well.
Yeah.
Did you not hear what Emmanuel Petit said about the penalty though? He said he's like proper objected to it. He said he might as well just start doing push-ups as well if he was going to do that.
Yeah, it's not a good look at it. It does seem to always, it always seem to mess up. Yeah, and like you said, Eze has missed by doing that as well in the past. So you'd have thought he'd have learnt from that. And also picking Gabriel as the last penalty kick taker, you'd think like for the fifth one, you'd want an attacker to take it, like at least a Zubimendi or a Madueke. So I thought Arteta got that bit wrong. And so on that side of things, I think Arteta kind of messed up with the choices. Or if it was amongst the players to decide, the players messed up with their decisions. I don't think Gabriel should have taken it.
I think I hate the stuttering run up. I've never liked it. I mean, I hate the way Bruno takes penalties anyway.
Yeah.
If he's like hop, skip, and jump, it pisses me off. But I don't know. I just feel like in those moments when you're like those crunch moments, Champions League final, the amount of pressure that's on you. I mean, I guess you're going to do what you've always done and what works for you. But I don't know. I just feel like you pick a corner, you pick a side, and then you just go for it. Unless you're Zidane and you can take like a no-step penalty, then I just feel like you should just go in and lever it. I mean, I guess I could see the centre-backs have taken penalties in the past and have been fine at it. I mean, I've seen Van Dijk take perfect penalties, but that's usually like in the sudden death region. Not really. It's only, I guess, in recent times that you've seen centre-backs taking penalties more frequently. I think Sergio Ramos take penalties as well for Real Madrid. Harry Maguire's taking penalties as well. But I mean, centre-backs, I think about centre-backs and I think they've usually got the shot power to do the clearance. And if they can clear the ball into the back of the net, then that's absolutely fine. But I don't know, like, it's just part of me just thinks that it was so first of all, if we talk about Eze, I think that was I remember I was sitting there watching it with two Arsenal fans and I was like, if he misses this with all the let it all work out and the whole video of him coming back to Arsenal and all that, if he misses, this is just diabolical. And he didn't even get it on target. I was just like, oh my goodness. Like I could just see the Twitter nonsense that was about to come his way after that happened. And then for me personally, like seeing Gabriel miss was just a perfect moment because I've disliked this guy throughout the season. I think that his head's been too mentally in the social media space and he's let that get into his game. I mean, look, fair enough. Arteta found a way to beat Pep Guardiola's Man City and win the league. Yeah, and I credit to Arsenal. They did it over a 38 game season. So, fair enough in that sense. But yeah, for me personally, seeing Gabriel miss that, it was quite funny to see. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Nuno Mendes missed his penalty. That was an absolute shocking penalty from Nuno Mendes anyway. It wasn't even in the corner. Every penalty was great, to be honest.
Yeah.
There was one save that Raya made. He didn't make a save, sorry. He dived way early. He already shuffled over and dived into the corner before the shot had even been taken, I think. So that was a bit peculiar. But other than that, I mean, all the other penalties that were taken were great. Rice's penalty was top class as well. That was a good penalty. But the keeper didn't move for that. So maybe he thought he was going to go down the middle. So I'm not sure. But yeah, no, other than that, every other penalty was fine. Martinelli, I actually wanted him to miss. I was like, I really hope this guy misses. But he scored a perfect penalty as well, so credit to him. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the penalties.
I think Arteta didn't prepare well for the penalties. I think part of it was having to take his penalty takers off in Havertz and Saka because they weren't fit to go for the full like 120. A bit similar to Ousmane Dembele as well. Like he wasn't fit to go for the full 120 either. But yeah, I think that impacted how he would have selected his players. I think what was baffling was Madueke not taking a penalty. You'd expect him to take one. And I did think that instead of Zubimendi coming on in extra time, maybe Marino should have come on because he can take a pretty good penalty as well, I think. As a more kind
your
of
beloved
player.
Marino.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, I thought maybe Raya might get the better of the two keepers, but yeah, again, but both penalties that were missed had that stuttering penalty run up, and yeah, I'm not a fan of it, and I knew both of them were going to miss just based on the run up as well. So,
you don't think before Eze could have come on earlier in the game?
You know, contrary to what most people will be thinking, I actually thought.
Yeah, I thought going kind of back on the point where it was Sparx.
Tamim, you're on. Oh,
can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Was he just having a bit of a mental breakdown as well?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Kind of going back to one of the points they were arguing about. So Sparx was mentioning that they had to play to their strengths, which, yeah, fair enough. I get, defense is your strength and all that. But I would argue that Arsenal's bench was stronger attacking wise. Like you had Eze, you got Damen there, Jesus was back from injury as well. I think there could have been a bit more bravery, and I think Uzi made a fair point. Like, regardless of the other stuff, I think it was a very fair point, Uzi. Like, why not just go for the win in the 90? I think there's an opportunity to do so. Kvaratskhelia had to come off as well. Dembele came off. I think PSG could have been attacked at. Bayern showed that as well. I think it's a fair point that, what do you think, Danyaal? I wanted to hear Sparks' views, but, you could hear your views as well on that.
Yeah, I think just fitness had a bit of an issue in terms of how we attacked that. But to be fair to Madueke, like he caused a threat on the right hand side, maybe more of a threat than Saka did, other than that one Saka cross that he did. So I can't really fault Madueke. Again, I mentioned it before, but I thought Calafiori would have given us a bit more impetus going forward, and I was a bit disappointed to see him not come on the pitch, even if it was for like a Trossard or something, and have him play in a kind of unconventional left winger sort of spot. But yeah,
can I just, while you mention Trossard, the balls on this guy to try and pop one past Hakimi and try and run past Hakimi at the beginning, I was like, who does this guy think he is? You think he can outpace Hakimi? Incredible balls on the guy, but completely stupid as well.
Yeah.
Also, sorry,
that could have been that could have been another option as well, like having Eze on the left hand side rather than Trossard. And I guess I would imagine there might have been some issues with Odegaard's fitness as well, that for why he would have had to come off also. I don't think Arteta would have wanted him to come off as early as he did. So yeah. Got Ozzy, you asking a question?
Timber didn't start, did he, right?
No, because he's been injured for 4 months.
He should have brought him on he should have had him starting. There was a chance he had against Safanov. It was almost like, you remember that Maicon goal against North Korea, where towards the corner he kind of almost squared it in, and I don't know how he missed, but the moment he came on, I saw Timber was kind of making things happen. But it's just, I'm sorry, I'm not going to buy into all this kind of like, injuries and all that. If you're in a final, man, you throw everything at the Dogs. There's no point kind of sitting.
I mean, you're going up against the best left winger in the world.
Doesn't matter.
In Kvaratskhelia. I know the thing is, if you're not fully fit, and if Arteta kind of felt that he could only do, how many minutes do you do? What, 40, 50 minutes? I mean that's fair enough. And he only took Mosquera off once he was on that booking. So
I mean, Hincapié was injured, wasn't he?
By the way, Hincapié played with injury on, because he made all 5 subs at that point. But that was at the end of the game. He got injured through the match itself. What I did think where we got away with one was potentially was Mosquera not getting a second yellow for the penalty. I have seen some angles though actually where he does get the ball, but yeah, he gets the man and then gets the ball. It was a penalty, and yeah, I did think it was fortunate to not get a second yellow in that instance. I was thinking it was gonna send him off there, and yeah, that definitely would have been curtains for Arsenal within full time. So,
are you I don't know? I guess your defensive organization won you the league, right? But
yeah.
Do you remember earlier on in the season? It must have been in January or February. There was that press conference that Arteta did. We're going to take the handbrakes off, all that stuff. Yeah, and I know you were super keen on seeing more attacking football from Arsenal in the second half of the season, and we didn't see that really as the season wore on. It was very pragmatic, very defensively organized football. And I guess Arteta realized that he doesn't have this. I don't know, maybe if it was tactically or if it was just squad-wise, he didn't have the team to go toe-to-toe with City in an attacking football sense. So he decided that defensive organization would win him the league. Do you feel, as an Arsenal fan, going into that final, that you would have wanted to see Arsenal play more attacking? I mean, I guess it's like if buts and roundabouts, but you lost the game being defensively sound against the best attacking team in the world. But would you have preferred to go out on your sword and having sort of tried an attack? You know, I mean, PSG beat Inter. What was it?
4-0 last year.
4-0.
5.
5. Yeah.
Yeah. So, would you have preferred to see Arsenal go out, maybe scoring a couple of goals, losing, I don't know, maybe 5-3 or 5-2, or what happened, losing on penalties? I mean, it's hard to say, right? Because but I don't know. I feel like, I guess I'm privileged in the sense that I got to see Liverpool play attacking football, counter-pressing, very attack-minded football. And that football won us a league, and it won us a Champions League as well. And I'm grateful that I got to support a team that played positive football. But I don't know, as an Arsenal fan, would you, like Sparx was saying earlier, you need to get some more attackers. Do you feel that just having some more clinical finishers is enough, or does Arteta need to I wouldn't say change his approach. I'd say maybe upgrade his approach, because this approach already won you the league, right? So do you need to change the way that you play to be more attacking next season? To be honest, I mean, we'll do our predictions later on, but Arsenal are the only organized team going into next season. Everyone else is going for another stage of transition. But I don't know, do you have any regrets, is what I'm saying, about the style of Arsenal's play going into the Champions League final, in the final itself? I mean, Arsenal didn't lose a game in the Champions League, so up until the final, which is nuts. But yeah, what do you like in hindsight, reflecting on the final? Would you have played differently? Would you have done things differently?
Yeah, the only change I would have made potentially would have been to have started Calafiori or have him on, because he's such a maverick for our side, and he definitely kind of unlocks that left hand side in a different way. To kind of what Hincapié does. Obviously, Arteta wanted to go a different way compared to previously. So that would have been the only kind of change. I think it's kind of in Arsenal's DNA to kind of be defensively sound, defensively resolute. It's how we won the league. The one thing which I think Arteta probably hasn't got enough credit for is reacting to the injuries that have hampered our attack. So at the beginning of the season, Saka was injured pretty early on. Odegaard was injured pretty early on. Trossard was in at the side, Martinelli as well. And it's always been a case of having to plug and play without getting that kind of chemistry between players. That some of the most fluid we were was when we had Marino up front and Eze just behind him. But then Marino went and got injured as well, and he fractured his foot. Havertz was injured for like basically half the season also. So it's having that attacking fluency is based on that chemistry on the pitch. And yeah, it didn't kind of get built, I think, with any of the players. I can see you smiling, Tamim. It reminded me actually a little bit about that kind of signing of the season award discussion about Gyökeres, about Wayne Rooney's comment saying that Gyökeres should be the signing of the season, because like for me, again, I'm gonna echo what Rooney said. Like, we don't win the league without Gyök. Havertz was injured from the first day of the season. Marino also got injured as our kind of backup number 9 from January onwards, and he was basically fit throughout and gave us that direction to play. Yeah, so he was kind of one constant really that we had in that attack. I mean, it wasn't always the most preferred attack of having Martinelli, Madueke, and Gyökeres, like the front three of the least techers, so to speak. But yeah, like Gyökeres was a bit of an unsung hero for us, I think, in a lot of ways, compared to like the likes of Saliba and Gabriel.
I think he did well, yeah, for sure. And he got 20 odd goals for the whole season, did you say?
It was 22, and then 14 goals in the Premier, and that's 14 goals that we didn't get last year.
And you contested, you wanted to contest something I said like quite a few episodes ago. Was it word for word? I said, you're going to win the league despite Gyökeres.
Despite of...
So I said.
Despite.
Yeah, that's an interesting chat. I would actually stick by what I said there, and I'll explain why. I think you lot still win the league even if you don't have Gyökeres. I think you. I
think we don't, by the way.
But yeah, that's fine. That's your opinion, and my opinion could very well be wrong, but I think that you win the league even if you don't have Gyökeres there. You could stick Trossard up there. You could have Marino, whoever. I think you win the league. I think what won you the league was your world-class defense, your world-class goalkeeper, and Declan Rice. I think those are the big parts of the season for you lot. And also the fact that Man City were not as strong as they used to be. Like the constant slip-ups against Everton and lower sort of league teams. That's what won you the league, in my opinion. You could have Darwin Núñez up there. You'd still win it. And if anything, I think if, you mentioned...
I'm a big fan of Darwin Núñez, by the way. I really like Darwin Núñez.
Yes,
I would take him at Arsenal.
I do miss him, I do.
Proper chaos merchant, man.
Yeah. He's he's a good. I do miss him. I do miss him for sure. But I think if say Saka and Odegaard were even more fit than they had been this season, you win the league by a bigger margin, despite
that I agree with. That I agree with. Yeah, that I do agree with. But yeah, like I said, he gave us that direction. You mentioned Marino. Marino was only fit up until January, and then he was injured throughout. Havertz was injured from basically August to December. So again, he was that one constant up front, I think. There was a moment in the game as well, in the 120th minute, where Gyök took a shot and it deflected. And like the stadium at the Emirates, we kind of anticipated the ball to kind of nuzzle into the back of the net. We're like, this is the moment, and obviously it wasn't to be. But
a few lot won it there, man.
I saw that angle, and it looked like the ball was trickling into the box, into the goal, and I was just like heart in mouth moment there.
So looking to next season, then PSG, they've done the double. Can they do Real Madrid do a three-peat? I don't really learn this stat today.
Yes.
They're the third youngest team in the tournament.
If they keep their team and they keep Luis Enrique, I don't see any reason why they won't do it again next season. The French league itself is just it's just almost like a pastime. Like they'll happily like drop games or whatever, or delay games. PSG are just there.
It's crazy, Zahid. Like Dembele played a total of 9 games in Liga. 9 games, man. Like it's insane. Like how they able to.
I think they don't have a domestic trophy as well, like the FA Cup. They don't. I think they dropped that as well. So it's just I can see them, walking the French league and then getting to the final at the very least of the Champions League next season, and doing a three-peat, because I don't see. I mean, the only potential contenders to them, in terms of attacking football, anyway, are Bayern Munich. So,
I think Arsenal's defensive prowess will see us getting into more European finals in the future. So, like, compared to 2006, that was the end of an era. Vieira had left the year before. Henry was leaving the following year. Pires left that season. I think Arsenal are kind of at their peak at the moment in terms of, or approaching their peak. To be fair, like Rice is 26, Saka's 25. Like these players have got a number of more years ahead of them compared to that Arsenal team from 2006. So,
Saka's got to break
definitely echo
losing finals. By the way,
sorry, say again.
Saka needs to break this stat of losing finals.
I mean, even the Carabao Cup final, like he lost that one as well.
Speaking of the 2006 final, which one would you say was a bigger missed opportunity, that one or this one?
I mean, in that one though, Lehmann got sent off, right?
Yeah. And then we were 1-0 up.
Injustice, man.
Until about the 70th minute, you guys were 1-0 up with 10 men as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was
and
Belletti that scored. I remember.
Yeah, if VAR was there, the Belletti goal would have been ruled out for offside.
I think that 2006 was more of a missed one. That was the golden generation.
I think. I'm not sure. I mean, we kind of lucked our way to that final. We had Flamini in terms of that. We went through that entire run without conceding a goal. Yeah,
you were unbeaten. Yeah.
That conceding a goal, but we had the most craziest back four. We had Flamini at left back, Philippe Senderos, I think Kolo Touré, I think Emmanuel Boué. It was a proper hodgepodge defense. We kind of lucked it there a little bit. I know.
That's not luck. That's Arsene Wenger, man. Put some respect on his name, yeah. I don't want to hear all these comparisons with Arteta, yeah. Wenger used to always...
You sort of lucked your way to this one as well, because you were on the much easier half of the
that's ignoring the fact that we went literally 8 games to have got that draw.
I'm not saying I would, maybe luck is not the right word, but you had a much easier route to this final compared to
we did. I actually think this was more of a opportunity miss in some ways. I think.
I mean, you have to beat the best teams to be the best, right? Like you have to have that mentality.
I was saying that 25 minutes ago, wasn't I? Sorry,
but
it's true though.
But yeah, I mean, I can't see past PSG next season either. As long as because I don't know, the way the team is structured as well is there is no individual in that team. It's all about the team collective. Everyone is in it together, and unless something happens in the chemistry of the team and someone wants to become the main star or something like that, and there's some discontent in that sense, I don't see any reason why this team that Luis Enrique has built is going to do anything other than. I think the team that started this final started the same team that started the
Donnarumma.
Other than Donnarumma, everyone else is the same.
Yeah,
which is nuts in itself. So yeah, I mean, I don't think. So I think I can't see past PSG next season. I think the Premier League as well. I mean, I guess we've got to do our predictions and awards and all that sort of stuff. But unfortunately, I can't see past Arsenal next season either. The only organised team going into next season, unless something happens and someone goes on a run, I don't see Arsenal, unfortunately, relinquishing their title. You're in
Speaking
the
of
best position.
Inshallah.
Speaking of next season, someone we won't be seeing in the dugout at Anfield is Arne Slot, who was sacked the other day. 1 year after winning the Premier League, but he had a bit of a downer this season. Zahid and Danyaal, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it was the right decision in the end. It is a bit sad. Like you said, he only won us the league 1 year ago. So you'd think, there's a bit of credit in the bank, but I think he did use that credit in the bank this year. He's given a lot longer than a lot of other managers would have been given, because there's 18, 19 losses for the whole year. Some horrible performances. Not just some horrible ones, but a lot of horrible performances where there's no signs of improvement at all. And there's other factors as well, like, the whole restlessness amongst the academy players, where they're saying compared to Klopp, he's not been sort of looking there or making any sort of effort. And that's been shown amongst how consistently he's been picking certain players, putting Szoboszlai at right back, when, again, that's one of the things that's come out in the last few days, where a lot of the players were puzzled as to why our best midfielder was constantly being placed at right back. Too many issues within the team. And it's been a, tough year amongst, transition amongst signings, and obviously with the Jota tragedy, but we can't lean on that. I think, of course, that has an impact, but, it doesn't change bad tactics. It doesn't change a lack of improvement, and also a fitness issue, which, again, one of the other small to large factors where we seem to gas out, and that's largely due to Slot wanting to train with less intensity. It's just not the way we want to play, and I don't see that. I can't see that improving next year at all, unless he had a massive shift in his philosophy. So and he had lots of fans as well, which is a major issue. If you lose the fans, well, your time's kind of up, in my opinion. So overall, it's the right thing, and hopefully we get, I think, Iraola over the line. I think that would be good for us.
So I echo everything that Tamim has said, and it's strange because him winning the Premier League last season has led to him being sacked this season. If he hadn't won the Premier League last season, he would have been seen as still being able to build the team and have it towards his direction. And I think he would, if we hadn't won it last year, he'd still be the manager of Liverpool this year. But I think unfortunately for him, from the highs of winning the league last year, the most frustrating thing is that I think his ego got the better of him, in the sense that he thought he could be this tactical nous, change the way that Liverpool play and still allow Liverpool to become, mold Liverpool into his vision. But the club have become successful playing an identity in recent times anyway, has come from, pressing, defending from the front basically, and attacking football. He wanted to play it a different way, and I just feel like, why change a winning formula? Like, we won the league last year playing that same formula. Why would you change it? You've invested in the team and you've brought in more attacking players. Why would you then go and try and change that formula and lead us to where we are now? I mean, there was lots of changes. There's lots of stuff that happened. Like, we've discussed ad nauseum already about how things have changed over the course of the season and what happened in pre-season before the season started. But I feel like if we do go for Iraola and we get him, he plays attacking football, pressing football, and I think that fits our identity. He's also already a Premier League manager. He's been successful with Bournemouth as well, and he's got a link to the board in terms of the people higher up. So if he wants to stay in the Premier League, then I guess that's what we'll end up with. But I'm excited for the next season. It's just frustrating that we're going to go through another rebuilding phase next year if we do sign Iraola. I mean, regardless of who we sign, it will be another rebuilding phase, which will give Arsenal another opportunity to retain the title, because no one else is at that stage yet. But I'm optimistic.
Excuses already, Zahid, yeah. Excuses
Sorry?
already, yeah. Excuses
What's
already.
That?
Excuses already, yeah. Getting
come
them
on,
in
man.
early.
Come on.
No, I think that point you make about the Premier League experience, yeah, is so true. I think that's the key thing. Like, he knows the league, he knows the players, he knows the intensity. Whereas Slot was, although he did win it in the first year, he was still kind of figuring out. And like you said, he was kind of not enjoying how the Premier League was going, but Iraola is kind of relishing it and, you know, having that adapted to it well in a Klopp kind of way. Which in a way, like, we were kind of gutted about losing out on Alonso, but Alonso would have brought a very similar kind of style of play to Slot, which is what you know, apparently is one of the reasons why we didn't go for Alonso. So yeah, let's see how it goes. You know, we have to have hope that it works out, and it seems like our kind of style of play. So I think yeah, it'd be nice to see. Hopefully, it gets over the line.
I'm wondering if Liverpool are pressing the panic button. I hope they're not, because I mean, not that I would expect them to, but I think Slot's ego probably said, okay, I'll walk. He strikes me as someone who probably doesn't take nonsense, and they must have told him that if you don't win next year, then we're going to get rid of you. So he said, okay, I might as well walk now or something. But just the timing's off. Like, why wouldn't they wait until Alonso, or I don't know. Something seems a bit odd there, but Liverpool, eh?
Liverpool aren't this kind of club that would we're not like a Real Madrid, you know, we don't just have a sort of sliding doors for managers coming in and out of the club. But yeah, I mean, his last comment leaving the club saying he's put Liverpool in the position that they should be in. It's just like, obviously he means we're in the Champions League and we're amongst the European elite, but the way it comes across is just like, it's been like that throughout the season with the things that he said, and the things that he's spoken about have just gone against what the fan base would want, really. And the boos, obviously, that happened when he took off Rio, that was very telling. And obviously, you know, Salah basically getting him also like shipped out of the club as a parting shot. Like, he didn't need to do anything. He didn't say anything. He was already leaving the club. But it just shows you how much of a competitor he is and how highly he regards his time at Liverpool.
Do you think his parting shot will degrade his legacy in any way?
I think, obviously, I'm biased as a Liverpool fan. I was very angry with him when he made his comments before going to AFCON. And I mean, I said at the time, no player is bigger than the club, But now looking back on it, like, he has standards and he has expectations about what the standards should be at the club. And obviously, once you've been there and done it, you've won 2 Premier Leagues, you've won a Champions League, you have credit in the bank to be able to talk the way that you want to talk about how the club should be run. He was at the club for however many years. His goal scoring record over the 9 seasons or whatever that he was at Liverpool is just incredible. Like, he's a Premier League great, so he has authority to say what he wants to say. But he was also a leader at the club as well, and he had expectations about where the club should be and how the club should be, how the club should play football. So, if Arne Slot had stayed, his parting shot would have not really made much of a difference. But with Slot going as well, I think it empowers more what Salah had said. That's my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it impacts his legacy in a negative way. I think it'll be seen as almost like a helping hand in trying to get rid of a problem. So yeah, I don't think it'll be seen as a negative thing. I think you raised an interesting point at the end about player power, maybe some sort of impact on that aspect, but not just for Liverpool, but as players as a whole compared to clubs and managers. But yeah, ultimately, as I was saying, I think it was necessary to, part ways, and Salah's post and message kind of just helped with that, in my opinion. So yeah, no impact on his legacy. What he's done far outweighs, all of that.
And I wouldn't say unnoticed, but a little bit more quiet with his departure was Andy Robertson. How are you guys going to miss him, and how are you going to fill that void?
Yeah, I mean, he's a legend as well. Like you said, maybe a slightly quieter kind of reception compared to Salah, but I think it was nice to see he's still got a big send off. And obviously, when in the final game they had the send off together, the sort of appreciation and recognition together. So it was nice to see that they both had their individual kind of bits recognised. And yeah, he's one of the best left backs in the Premier League history, in my opinion. Of course, I'm biased, but I'm not saying he's the best. I would give that to Ashley Cole. But some of his, like his crossing, his work rate, I think he embodied like Klopp's philosophy the best. Like not just technical ability, but the work rate, the relentless, sort of pressure on oppositions, the running, the non-stop sort of, all of that. Yeah, I think he's the perfect embodiment of Klopp's philosophy and what we should be striving towards with the next manager as well.
He was definitely a leader at the club, and not only sort of, in the dressing room or at the training ground, but even on the pitch, he was ready to go from the get-go. He would set the momentum. He would get in there early doors, crunching challenges, chasing down the ball wherever it was going along the left side. So, yeah, he will be missed. And his story is crazy as well, because when he came into Liverpool, Klopp slowly brought him into the team. It took a while before he got in. And then once he got in, he stayed in. And he made that left-back position his own. And I don't know if he's got any knee ligaments left, like after the career he's had at Liverpool. The lungs that he's got as well is just incredible. It's sad to see him potentially go to Spurs. Would have much preferred Spurs to go down and get relegated rather than see Robbo go to Spurs. But yeah, I mean, he'll be missed at Liverpool, and he'll leave a Liverpool legend for sure.
And just something you mentioned during the thingy, and it's quick little side tangent there, but you had the Salah and Robertson having their farewell matches. You had City with their farewell matches for Pep and Bernardo Silva and John Stones. And when them two came off, they had the Guard of Honor, whereas it didn't happen at Liverpool. Personally, not a fan of a Guard of Honor match.
It's a bit weird, right? Yeah, that's a bit weird, wasn't it?
Yes, I feel like it feels like you're playing more of an exhibition match than an actual.
Yeah, exactly.
Thing. Yeah, particularly with I suppose the Man City Aston Villa match, there wasn't as much riding on it. But yeah, and I remember there was the very cringy John Terry one when he timed it on his shirt number, whatever it was, which was just very cringy. Your thoughts on Guard of Honor's mid-match?
Yeah, I think, it's a bit. I get it. It's not. It's nice, maybe a sentiment sort of thing, but like you said, it's still a game of the season, right? It's one of the 38 games, and especially like if there's something on the line, which thankfully there wasn't much. But I mean, yeah. To be fair, for Brentford, there obviously was, right? They still could have had a shot at Europe. So, like you said, we didn't really do much of one. I think we did a little bit when Salah came off, didn't he? But it was only like Van Dijk and a couple of other players. But and ultimately, it's still a game of the season, and I think maybe save that all towards the end and have the fans obviously give their recognition when they come off.
Please, Omar, tap louder.
I think we'll call that a day. It's gone on for a little over an hour. I hope you've enjoyed this very explosive episode of Clash of the Reds. Please do like and subscribe on all the various handles, and also good mention to Sparx's channel at 40 Corner TV. Please like and subscribe to him as well. We hope you've enjoyed this episode. We'll probably be a bit more chilled out for the next few ones, I imagine. Not much going on. Hopefully we'll be doing something next week. We'll fill you in then. Probably a little bit of a end of season awards and preview for next season, maybe a little bit of World Cup stuff. So hope you all enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see you next week.